It's week 4 of the NFL, and we've got two teams who were AFC rivals for almost 25 years. It's the Chiefs and the Seahawks, and it comes your way next.
Let's rock and roll. Let's go.
With Mount Rainier in the distance, there are few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect day for football at Lumen Field in Seattle.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in week 4. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And leading them out is their fifth-year quarterback.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. 2nd and 10.
At the 26-yard line.
Here's Purdy. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Purdy. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep for KC, Xavier Worthy. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. Now Mahomes. And that's brought in by Knight. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Looking to throw is Mahomes. That's caught. It's Xavier Worthy. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Open man is the tight end, Noah Gray. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 42. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. To throw, it's Mahomes. That's caught right side by Worthy. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3. Mahomes now to throw. And this pass caught by Gray. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 21. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. And he remains perfect on this opening drive. Charles now 5 of 5 and another first down to work with.
He's like one of those great shooters in basketball that has his rhythm, has his confidence. He doesn't think anything is going to miss right now. As far as he's concerned, he's going to be perfect the entire game. And who's to say that it won't happen the way he's throwing it right now? Oh, that's sweet.
What an effort. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Zonovan Knight, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are on the board first here this afternoon. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Purdy looking to throw. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. And wrangled down quickly just past the 40 at the 41.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
And they'll run it here. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They'll run. It's Kenneth Walker. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. This defense for the Chiefs, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with
to the right side and intercepted. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And they will finally stop him, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. Following the interception, they're set up nicely here, already inside the red zone, knocking on the door, if you will, 1st and 10. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's second down. Throwing now is Mahomes. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Gray. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Here's Mahomes to throw. And he is caught. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Here's Here's Knight on the handoff. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. Second and goal from the 1. He'll try again. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Zonovan Knight with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Chiefs are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now 14-0. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Purdy. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Now Purdy. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. Here's a 2nd and 8. Throwing here, Purdy. He'll find Metcalf. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go. They'll try for the first with Walker. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Chiefs offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him, because he is eating them up right now. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. You talk about this Seahawk defense. This unit, very tough to throw against, currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And this unit knows exactly where they rank. They're number 2 against the pass in the NFL. You know they have their sights set on being number 1, looking for a big game today.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Chiefs with the football as we start the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw. That's complete. Left side to Worthy. Now he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. He'll get this complete to Worthy. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
The Chiefs at 3-0 here in the month of September. And they've got to be pleased with the start of this season, obviously.
Yeah, and you're talking about 3 good quality wins. It's got people in the locker room excited, not overly so, but that quiet confidence is starting to build. They're starting to believe that this could be their year if they stay on track.
A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be second and a couple. And again, it's Mahomes. Steps away, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Purdy now to throw.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Now a first carry here for their running back.
And the defense on him quickly there as they stop him at the 40 for a gain of just 2.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8.
They go play action here. Purdy. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
The Chiefs offense and their running back getting set to go once more.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead, but that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
and we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. In motion left goes a tight end. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I can put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
Now here's Mahomes. Well, that's brought in by Knight. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Purdy. He'll get this complete to the tight end Barner. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 2nd down and 6 now from the 26. The slot man in motion right. Here's Purdy. Targeting the out route, and he completes this to Metcalf. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Purdy bootlegging it. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The visitors' offense and Patrick Mahomes headed back onto the field. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. On play action, it's Mahomes. Throw left side, completion to Rice. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 43-yard line.
Now Mahomes. And he's got his man on the out route. Down the right sideline. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. A big play there for KC. 53 yards.
Oh, big-time credit. What a play design there. They wanted to get him loose in the open field, and they succeeded. He had all sorts of room to operate in, and they finally track him down inside the 5-yard line.
Mahomes now to throw. He's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. From 4 yards out. And the Chiefs continue to pull away here in this 1st half. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the route is on here in this first half. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13.
Purdy from the gun. And complete to Smith-Njigba.
And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain.
3rd and 4.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the first down to go along with it.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Purdy looking to throw.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
In motion, the tight end. Throwing on 2nd and long. Purdy. This is Fant on the short completion. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Shotgun now with Purdy. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room. Maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of a team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. To throw, it's Mahomes.
And this pass caught by Gray.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays. Throwing now is Mahomes. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Mahomes to throw once more. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
First and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
This is Knight. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's Mahomes to throw. And it'll be intercepted.
Picked off by Kobe Bryant. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, turnovers, obviously, Charles, always costly. But, man, when you throw those interceptions in the end zone like that, it really stings.
He tried to fit that one into his tight end, and I often use the expression NFL open, which means a tighter window. Down near the goal line, you really want him to be open. In this case, it cost him.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play.
Throwing here, Purdy. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Final play of the half, Purdy.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top, as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we close out the first quarter of this season. We'll get started out west in Las Vegas. And it's the Jets who are out in front in that one. A couple of touchdowns there for Breece Hall. From there, we head east to Minnesota to check on the Vikings at home at US.
And we'll jump right over halftime and keep the game going here in Week 4. Second half kickoff ready to go.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
Looking to throw is Mahomes.
Finding Gray on the out route.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. He finds his man, complete. That's Knight. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
Here's 3rd and 3.
Mahomes going to throw.
Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. From midfield, here's Mahomes. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
A run with Knight.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
40 yards rushing for him now to this point. Here comes 3rd down and 7.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Back to throw, Purdy.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Out of the gun, Purdy. They'll get that to Charbonnet.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 40-yard line.
Now Purdy. Smith and Jigba hauling it in on the out route.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Here's Purdy.
This is Fant on the short completion. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the Chiefs' 45-yard line.
Purdy.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one good for 37 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
Here's Walker.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
Ball start, offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal.
Purdy bootlegging it. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Boy, that was lockdown coverage there. He's scanning for someone to come open. But that was great work to blanket everyone. And in the end, he's just got to throw it away.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Kansas City defense tough to throw on there, and now it's 4th down.
In a game that hasn't gone your way, you got to throw in the end zone at every opportunity and hopefully climb back in as much as possible. He put way too much on that throw, though, and that shot ends up with nothing.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again.
And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now here's Mahomes.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They go play fake. Mahomes.
To the sideline and incomplete.
This is part of why this guy's got multiple MVPs on the mantle. We're used to seeing him make the impossible throws, but here Mahomes knows he's got nothing, so he wisely just gets rid of it.
And again, it's Mahomes. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. .33 yards is the distance on the punt there.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Open man is Barner, the tight end.
And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 2. Purdy now to throw. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 49-yard line.
Purdy sets up to throw again. Going right back to Smith-Njigba.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 43-yard line.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it.
And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Chris Jones in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on for the 5th time here today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Well, this offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
On the carry, here's Knight.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
53 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Now a give right side.
Knight. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
The offense on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. Mahomes now to throw.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here's Walker to start the drive.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it's 3rd and 4 now.
Purdy looking to throw. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Justin Reed. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, just to add that to the list of great moments for this defense today, they've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, and they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick 6?
Extra point by Butker is on target,
and that'll increase their lead to 28. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Seahawks offense and Brock Purdy getting ready for this next possession. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Smith-Njigba with a grab.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 5.
Second and 5 at the 33-yard line.
Looking to throw.
Purdy setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's good for the Seahawks.
Back to throw. Purdy. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Well, with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Purdy off the play fake. He finds Smith-Njigba.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Another Seahawks first down. First and 10 at the 20-yard
A gear for Walker running right.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Throwing here, Purdy. Over the middle, finding Smith-Njigba.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Purdy from the gun on 3rd down. That is caught.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right in the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
Purdy from the gun.
Touchdown, Seahawks.
Zach Charbonnet.
His first touchdown on the year.
And the Seahawks are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
So that drive in total 8 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, It was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics would tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Swain. And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. Up the middle they go. It's Knight, and he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. That's caught right side by Worthy. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. Butker's kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Now 2nd and 3. Back to throw, Purdy. Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Purdy, big 4th down play. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
That's good for a Seahawks 1st down.
Now Purdy. This one goes underneath to Walker.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Repeated the last play, finding Walker.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
And the Seahawks 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Here's Purdy.
That is taken in by the tight end Fant. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Purdy will look to throw again here.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Purdy.
His throw caught at about the 5. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Noah Fant from 4 yards out.
And the Seahawks get a bit closer. Well, it seemed like they were so focused elsewhere, they forgot about the tight end spot, and he's the one that burns him there to make this a 3-score game here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
I think there might be a little bit of defensive fatigue from those guys on that side of the ball, partner, because they've been spending their time trying to stop them from all angles. This time the tight end gets them.
And he's going to get in for the score, and the lead now cut to 14. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And now here comes Kansas City. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And they'll indeed take a knee. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. And the clock will roll down to zeros. 4 weeks in, 4-0. I don't think anybody needs to alert the 72 Dolphins just yet, but great start to the season.
Great start. How about him taking a knee at the end? And there's no better feeling for a team than to do that, to close out a victory. But you're right, at 4-0, they're sending a message to the rest of the league. They're going to be tough to deal with.
Oh, what a performance. All those points put on the board. And, Charles, it wasn't just by the offense. The defense put some points on the board as well. They were solid today.
Yeah, it was a complete effort to secure the win, and both sides of the ball made big plays. But how demoralizing is it when the opposing defense can take one all the way back against you? And that was the case here. That really sparked them to victory.
So for the Chiefs, hey, they finish a perfect month of September.